Hey everyone, just getting ready and set up here. The Pilar 3 is all finished. I figured I'd go live and assemble this for you guys, and we can just chit chat, hang out. I really don't go live that much, so I need to get better at it and get used to it. So I have my computer here. Let's see here. Got to make sure everything is working. Go to my profile. Light is pretty bright in here, but I think that's all right. Daniel, how's it going? Not much. Just got done from working in the shop. Currently working on an 8015. JD, how you doing? Crispy Honey Bun. It's a great name, by the way. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait till a few more people join the live, since this was kind of out of the blue. Hello, Mark. It's going good. I finished the Pilar 3, so here it is. And I hope I'm using my laptop to see what I'm doing on my live. So if you guys can bear with me here. I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. Oh, your wife named the channel? Well, that's a great nickname from the wife, I guess. But like I said, I was going to do a video just assembling this, my typical kind of video. But I decided to go live since I haven't gone live in a long time. And hopefully I'm not in somebody's slot. We know how that goes, right, in the knife community. Thank you, Philo45. Oh, you got a Rosie? Whoa, man, JD, you're moving up in the world with the Rosie. I've only handled that once, and that was at Texas Blade Show. The Lamia, I don't even know which one's that one. The Lamia? Yeah, I would love a Rosie in the collection, honestly. It's the one that I handled was awesome, and it's a good looking knife, great design. Let's see here. Oh, I was gonna show off the blade here. Wow, they're customer knives, but you do own a Rosie? Oh, I'm only a little jealous. Chad says it looks like tiger ice cream. Maybe Ben and Jerry's will create a flavor like that. Tiger, what'd you say it was? Tiger ice cream. Interesting. Oh, and I did make a pocket clip out of the same material, so really happy about that. See if I can get the camera to focus here. But I tried to get the coolest part of the limited section of the G-Carta that I had, so really happy with this. I'm glad I was able to experiment with G-Carta, getting it thin enough and then molding it. As you can see, I molded it around the black G10 that I made the original clip with, and then I epoxied it onto the clip that I made out of the black G10. So the tension works, tension's good. The Lamia, JD, hello EDC for fun, how you doing? Oh, SPK, is that that fixed blade, JD? That's one fixed blade I'd really like, if that's the Lamia. Yeah, yeah, Daniel, yeah, that's right. Yeah, $800. I mean, it is a beautiful knife, and it is U.S. made. Everything's made here in America, so that's pretty cool with the Rosie. So I'm just going to start assembling this. Well, before I do, I tried something different on the etch and stone wash. So basically what I did was I stone washed the whole blade. I did add a harpoon. That's one major thing I added to it, which I'm really happy with. But I took some 1000 grit and I folded it to a sharp point, and I kind of did a faded, I guess you could say tiger theme to it to go with the scale. And let me know what you guys think about that. It's something different, and I just wanted to experiment and see how it went, and I'm really happy with it. After I sanded it down, I did another stone wash to get that clean finish where I did with the sandpaper, just to really make it blend. Let's see if I can get the light to show it off. It almost kind of fades, almost kind of blends and hides into the stone wash or the etched and stone wash finish, which I'm really happy with. But again, I was experimenting, and that's what I ended up with. I'm happy with it, but we'll see what you guys think about it. Thank you, Dopey. Oh wow, I didn't even know SPK made a folder. I gotta check that out. I'm pretty sure I've seen it, JD, but I just can't picture it at the moment. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the harpoon. I'm surprised the Pilar 4. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm a little disappointed in the design, in a sense of I was expecting something more out of the ordinary of the Pilar family. And I get that it's going with the theme, but I was just hoping for something a little different, if that makes any sense. Daniel, last knife I got was a Big Banter and Murdered Out. Pre-order and had it pocket literally every day. Well, yeah, we always want more knives. Yeah, I actually have this one. Yeah, I don't have the large banter, but I just got the regular size banter. And this one was a really good deal off of White Mountain Knives because the wood wasn't finished, and I don't see anything wrong with the finish that it has on it already. But hey, I saved I think about 40 bucks. I got this for I think 85 bucks, which is a really good deal for this knife. Again, that's why I think I did a video where I mentioned it in a previous video where White Mountain Knives does their return section on their website. I check that thing every single day, and that's how I ended up with this. So always check them out. That's why I love White Mountain Knives. I always go to them, but picked up a really, really sweet knife. And I will be doing something to these scales here pretty soon. I want to do kind of a classic, very I don't even know the term, but very fancy pattern, a light pattern in the wood to really make this thing extra special. So we'll see what happens with this. And I did etch and stone wash the frame lock side as well. Very happy with that. See if I can get the camera to pick that up. But matches the blade very, very well. What else did I do? Oh, and I took the original brass backspacer and I put that rock pattern texture similar to the spine of the knife, just to have that theme going. Really happy with it. I ended up making a Blue Gicarda backspacer. I did put it on this one. This is the cheaper steel Pilar 3, but here it is on there. I didn't like the blue with the orange, so I ended up just putting it on this one. I'm pleased with it, happy with it, but just didn't like the color clash. Yeah, yeah, JD, the White Mountain knives, they are awesome. And that's my phone. I forgot to turn off the notification sound. So I'm going to adjust that real quick, and then we're going to assemble this knife. So I'm just going to do that really quick. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, get back to it. So I'm just going to start assembling this. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I'll do my best to answer. Customer knives anytime in the near future. Bradley, as soon as I finish my waiting list, which I closed, I even closed my waiting list, which is crazy. Never thought I'd do that. Once I finish that, which is about 30 orders right now, then I will open up, I think, 10 slots. That way I can kind of manage it better. This is still, the waiting list that I'm working on is still the one I did about a year ago, maybe 10 months ago. So I'm hoping sooner rather than later I'll open up the books again, but at the moment they are currently closed. So I think I'm gonna start with, yeah, you're gonna start with the show side scale with this one. I did heat anodize all the hardware too. Gets to go with that fire theme. Yeah, I know, JD, which is great. I'm not complaining. It's just tough to keep up with the orders, especially with the ones that I have right now. And I'm only one man. I wish I could do everybody's knife. That'd be cool. And I'm still working on trying to create some scales with my CNC. That way I can push out some product for you guys. And that way you guys don't have to get on the waiting list. And I just updated my website. I'm selling the Joker, or not the Joker, sorry. I'm selling the Green Goblin here, Tucson TS45. So that's up on the website. If you guys are interested. I do have my Hoopla Lander up there on the website as well. I'm really happy with this one. This one came out really well. Awesome stuff. Yeah, just trying to make a few bucks on the side, and hopefully get some better tools, and then I can produce scales at a higher rate and get the customers, you guys, what you guys want. Because I know that's something I want to do for you guys too. So I want to be able to give you guys some custom scales to purchase on the site and make your knives look a little different, a little unique. And with the scale, I basically thinned down the original G10 version. You can see the G10 liner in here. I just thinned down the OG scale, and then I epoxied the G-Carta on top of it, which made life a lot easier. I didn't have to put the recessed areas or anything, so that was a plus to it. Plus, it gives the G-Carta more strength, which is something you have to put in consideration when you thin down G-Carta. So it does make my life a little bit easier since I don't have to fully make the scale. Thank you very much, Bradley. Appreciate that. Yeah, I have people every day ask me to do their knives, and I want to. I just unfortunately have to turn down the offers, which is something I never thought I'd have to do. Yeah, I know, JD. That's, believe I'm not that I'm stressed. I'm just upset with myself for taking on so many orders. But I was so excited to take on the orders because what, about a year and a half ago, or when I started doing this, I got laid off from my welding job. So I was just really excited to get the orders in. Kept me busy. I had a job, if you will. I need to get some KPL lube because this is gun lube. I mean, it works. I mean, this works great, but I do need to get some KPL because I tried it at Texas Blade Show or Blade Show West. I tried it on my knife, and yeah, it does make a difference. So I need to step it up in the oil department. Some people are weirded out when I put oil on bearings, but I do what I want. This is America. I can do whatever I want. Andrew Torba, how you doing? I'm the guy who bought your AD10. Thanks for shipping it out. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for purchasing it. I appreciate that. I really appreciate your support, and I'm glad you like my work. That was actually one of my favorites. That was actually one knife that I carried for a while, and I rarely used it. But I'm glad it went to somebody who's going to use it, so that's great. I don't know, JD. Some people yell at people for putting oil on bearings. So what do I know? But you know, the YouTube world is interesting because people have something to complain about always, right? One thing I wanted to mention with this blade, and I told myself to be very careful not to do this, but of course I ended up doing it. But the rock pattern texture that I put in the finger choil here, see if I can get close with the camera. I accidentally put a pattern texture where I shouldn't have done it because it went into the pathway of the bearing on the frame lock. So that ball, that pin or that ball, I can't even think right now. Let me just point it out. So the ball here in the frame lock, help me out guys, I'm struggling here. But the pathway on the blade is, it might show up on camera, but it goes in this little groove that I added with that rock pattern texture, and it has a second stop. So I'm a little frustrated about that. I was very upset about it. So if you do end up doing texture on your spine or choils or whatever, just keep in mind where the path of that bearing is. So yeah, not happy about that, but it still functions. It's just when it's closing, it stops. It's almost like a slip joint. It has a walk and talk, which is unfortunate. I was going to end up selling this whole knife on my website, but more than likely I'll just end up selling the scale and the pocket clip, maybe the backspacer too, as a kit, because unfortunately I did that. But I'll show you guys once it's fully assembled of the mistake I did. Some people care, yeah. Exactly. There is no harm in it, Daniel. I agree with you. Who cares? Dopey says, your channel is one of the main reasons that I have gotten into customizing on my own knives. The most recent was a S35 Elementum that I added a TI frag scales. Oh, nice. Yeah, blurple color. That's an awesome color. Thanks, Daniel. Detent, the detent ball. That's, I don't know why my brain couldn't figure it out. But that's cool, Dopey. That's awesome. That's one of the reasons why I started my channel, was to kind of just show people that you can do it with just basic tools. And yeah, it just kind of gets you out into the garage and it gets you to do something, right? And be creative. So yeah, it's fun. This is something I really enjoy doing, and it's cool to hear that people are going out into their garage or wherever they do it and creating stuff. So, and plus I love seeing people being creative, especially JD. I don't know if you guys know JD, but he does custom work on knives as well. I know him through Instagram. I don't know if JD has a YouTube channel. Do you have a YouTube channel, JD? But yeah, he does most of his posts on his Instagram from what I know, and he does amazing work. I think his work is awesome. You guys should definitely check him out. Yeah, EDC for fun. Yeah, custom double detent. half stop on a frame lock. Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous. I'll show you guys here in just a second after I assemble it, but it's unfortunate, but it's part of life. You live and you learn. I guess that's what I'm supposed to say, right? So that way I'm not too focused on it. No YouTube. Okay, so no YouTube. So yeah, Instagram. It's awesome, JD. Thank you, EDC for fun. Yeah, no problem, JD. And like I said earlier, it's nice to do the epoxy the G-carded to the original scale because all the holes are lined up. You don't really have to do much. I'm sure JD knows what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Oh, get the tools ready. I think I have everything. Yep. Yeah, the Pilar 3 is my favorite out of the Pilar family. Just, I think it's one of Jesper Voxen's greatest designs with CRKT. Since he has, I don't know how many knife companies reach out to him. My goodness, but he's killing it. So what I'm going to do is really quick put this on. Yeah, JD, that's the thing about G-carded. It does get softer the thinner it is, but it's such an awesome material. I mean, I can't really complain about it too much. But that's with any material, right? You have to once you work with it, you have to kind of to figure it out, get a feel for it. That was one thing I learned with, especially with fat carbon. It likes to chip away and fray if you don't have sharp tools or your bits aren't sharp enough. Then it'll fray the material, and then you have a bunch of stuff everywhere. So just comes with time and patience, and that's what's great about the knife community. If there's people already out there working with it, you just ask them, hey, what do you use? How do you use it? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Otero Tough. Yeah, EDC for fun. That's one material I've never used. I have it on my custom Yojimbo too here. But I purchased these from Fireside Company. They make some beautiful scales. And the reason I purchased these was because I can't do recessed liners yet. But yeah, they call these lemon drop or just lemon. But really love these ones. This was a fun build too. This is one of my favorites. This is my personal Yojimbo 2. I'll probably never sell this unless I get in a tight pinch, but the Hamon etch and stonewash I did, really happy with that. This is a video I'll be doing here pretty soon on how to create that because I think it looks cool. But I really love this thing, and the pocket clip it still works well. It's made out of the black camo fat carbon. It hasn't broken yet, so very happy with that. But this is really cool. One of my favorite builds. So what I'm going to have to do here is push because it's fighting me. Of course it's going to fight me. I think that's it. Open it up, or no, close it. Yeah, I'm going to take this apart again because the D-shaped pivot pin didn't slide into the D-shaped hole on the frame lock side. So I'm going to have to see if I can do this. There we go. Nope. No, that's not it either. It's like I've never worked on a knife before. Sorry, I'm reading what you guys are saying. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, Vox. Yeah, they're making. Yeah, beautiful designs. Especially, I think Vox is run by Jesper Voxness and Anzo. Yeah, they both make beautiful designs. I got this Fox knife, the Zero here. I think this thing is really awesome. Only thing I'm really upset about is it was said to have had blue G10, but it's GRN handles, so a little upset about that. And there's no washers. It's an integral washer that's molded into the scales. But I'm gonna figure something out with this knife because I really wanted to put some really cool scales on here, and then I'm gonna put actual washers in there to make it really smooth. Because right now it's really tight. It's not centered. Just a little disappointed. That's all. Since it was advertised as having blue G10 scales, which it doesn't have. Yeah, my card gets bendy when thin too. Exactly. So you know what I'm talking about, JD. Ooh, you cracked him. The spendy stuff too. Ooh. Yeah, that's one thing. I'm really thankful that I have that CNC. It definitely makes life a lot easier with doing the holes and all that stuff, especially with the D-shaped holes on the cold steels, which I just figured out how to create that D shape in the CAD and then put it into the CNC, and then it actually does the holes. So thank you, EDC, for fun. Yeah, it's my favorite build so far, other than the Royal Benchmade Mini Crooked River. That was really fun to work on too. Yeah, I know, JD. I gotta. I'm trying to move and keep up with you guys. Not that it's an issue. It's just, like I said, I need to get more comfortable with lives and just get used to it. But that will come with time. Okay, I'm just trying to get this stand pivot pin to cooperate here. Of course, everything falls out. This never happens when I'm filming, because I can always edit out the parts that I'm messing up. But when you're going live, you guys can see that I'm not perfect. I assembled this knife so many times in the shop, but of course now it's an issue, which is ridiculous. It's the camera, right? Yeah. Yeah, same here, JD. I gotta learn how to use it better. And I'm just trying to use it on everything now, just so I get used to all the features and this and that. So it's a great little CNC. I'm surprised what it can do with all the, or with the limited size. It's so small, but it does really, really good work. And the blade on this is actually perfectly centered. I have some other. I have this Pilar here, which the blade is almost centered, and then the customer's Pilar that I just did with the brass, that wasn't perfectly centered, but that's how it came from crkt. That knife was brand new, so that was a little disappointing. But with the budget knives, you can't really expect perfection out of something that's 30 or 40 bucks. And one thing that you could always do is the metal complex trick of centering the blade, which does work most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time. I just pushed it out. I'm all over the place today. I'm trying to get this together. I want to show you guys. Maybe it's because I'm too excited. I keep messing up. Yeah, same here, Daniel. They work with so many designers, and you just never really know what they're going to put out. I'm really excited about their crossbar lock knives. I think they look awesome. A lot of people are upset about the price, but I mean, I don't know I don't know what it takes to run a company, and then also on top of that, I don't know what it takes to create things in the US. So, I mean, the prices are up there, but maybe they have to be. I don't know. I have to look more into that. But I hope everybody had a nice, easy Monday. Because usually Mondays are the roughest, right? My goodness. My eyes aren't working today. Okay, so let's see if I can get this thing assembled here. Now I'm just going to make sure it's not too tight. Okay, drop shut. And I will show you that issue in just a moment. I'm going to put the pocket clip on. The provoke, I customized the provoke, JD. I put that brass little piece on there. It turned out pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty spendy. That's why I don't have one. I mean, it's a cool design. I think it's a great. They executed it very well. D2 Cleaver Minimalist. Oh yeah, okay, the Desert Warrior one. Okay, yeah, I know which one that is. Rusted over the paint. That's weird. The coating is supposed to protect it. It's interesting. Yeah, their steels aren't the greatest either, I guess. But D2, I love HCR 13 MOV. 14C28N is probably the best budget knife or blade steel out there, right? D2 is all right, but I prefer 14C28N. HCR 13 MOV isn't too bad, which I believe it's not this knife. I don't know which knife I'm thinking of. I do like that the tension with G10 pocket clips. It works really well. Almost even better than fat carbon, which is weird because it's carbon fiber, but maybe it's the grain structure. I'm not sure. So yeah, okay. So all assembled. I'm gonna put everything away. I'm gonna get a little drink of lemonade. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this thing. Yeah, JD, 14C definitely better than D2, in my opinion. Okay, well here it is, guys. I'm really happy with it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna do my best to give you guys like a close up of this thing, since I'm using my phone as the camera. I'm going to be setting up my computer here a little bit better soon. But there's that. Here's the rock pattern texture on the back spacer. And then of course the pocket clip side, which I am also very happy with. It's a little on the thick side, but next time I do it, I'm going to make the G10 pocket clip a lot thinner. That way when I put the extra bit of material of the G-Carta on top of it, it won't be as thick. But it does feel really good in hand. I mean, I did the best I could to really make that profile in the pocket clip kind of hide in hand. That way you don't feel it in the palm. It just kind of flows and just feels good. And that's another thing why I really enjoy customizing my knives, because I can sit there and perfect it and get it to where it's really, really good in hand. So there it is opened up. Again, I'll do my best to get it somewhat close. I'm really liking the little experiment or trial I did on the blade with that different style hamon. I guess a faded hamon, I guess you can call it. Here is the show side scale opened up. And of course, I love a good harpoon blade, and I just had to do it on this knife. So you can see right there. And I didn't want to get too aggressive with it, but then I kind of slipped, and then it kind of forced me to get aggressive with it. But kind of glad that happened, because I'm really pleased with how it turned out. But overall, I really like it. And the only downside to it is, let me catch up with your comments here. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it, Dopey. What gave you the idea to first start doing pocket clips out of the blue? I have this weird thing if I do a show side scale, especially on a frame lock. I have this weird thing where if I do a show side scale, it has to be complemented somewhere else. So I figured, why not the pocket clip? Because you have that nice break. You have the show side scale, the opening or the back spacer, whichever the knife has. And then you obviously have the steel of the frame lock. So that's a different clash. And then it brings it, I think it just ties it all in when you put it on the pocket clip. So with this one, with the Spyderco, it was very dark and black due to the etch and stonewash blade. So I wanted to complement it with a darker pocket clip. So I made it out of the fat carbon material. One thing I need to do is order some black hardware. I forgot what website it is, but I want to get some black hardware to give it that black and yellow look, and again match with the G10 carbon fiber backspacer, which I put the rock pattern texture. So I want to have a black and yellow effect on this knife completely, because the blue TI screws just don't really mix well with it. So that's one thing I need to finish on that. Yeah, right. It's the 1,000 box cutting fade. I guess that's what you can call it there, EDC. Yeah, pivot collars. Yeah, I did it on my mini slim from Berg Blades. I made a Mexican blanket pivot collar to go on the other side. So you guys are digging that faded look, huh? Yeah, I thought it was something different, something interesting. Plus, you never know until you try, right? So you gotta live a little every now and then. But here, okay, so here's the issue. So it'll free fall. It'll even get past that if you move your thumb fast enough, it'll go past it. But right here, So you can see, I mean, that's like a half stop. It's annoying because I like perfection, and as soon as I created that little groove in the rock pattern texture in the finger choil, I knew I screwed up. But like I said, I'm not going to sell the whole knife. More than likely, I'm just going to sell the scale, the backspacer, and probably the pocket, or definitely the pocket clip and the scale. But I don't know about the backspacer. That way, if somebody wants to do or customize or add some flavor to their Pilar 3, they can. But there it is right there. So it actually has some spring to it since there's tension on that frame lock, but I mean, you can see where that issue is, right? So you can get past it by slamming it shut, but like I said, not happy with it, but it still functions, especially when you spidey flay it. It gets right past it. You don't even feel it, but when you close it, you do. It's perfectly centered though, so that's cool. Maybe I'll just get another Pilar 3 and not do that. Do the same thing, but make sure not to ruin the effect of the detent. I do have the cheaper steel Pilar 3 here, which I put that blue G-Card backspacer on. So definitely a lot smoother. You can feel the difference, but not a terrible issue. Double click on the flick. Pretty much. It did rhyme. What do I use for that rock pattern texture? I use my Dremel, and then I use the drum disc, the thinnest or skinniest one that they have. Since this blade, I mean, I could have got larger rock pattern texture chunks or bits on there, but I like using the smallest drum disc on the spine of the knives and the backspacer. It just gives a little bit more texture, and it's just a little bit more unique. But then again, however I feel, typically I use the larger one on the cold steel ones because you can see the blade spine on here, and the lock bar is a lot thicker. So that bigger or the biggest drum disc for the Dremel is really nice for these thicker, chunkier knives. And this one I have my replacement liners on this one in yellow on this one, this is one I'm going to be customizing too, since I just sold that green one that I really liked, but I had another one, so I figured, let me try something different. So for now, it just has my yellow replacement liners, which I have up on my website. I did bring the price down, I think, to $50 on those liners, since they weren't really selling well. But yeah. All right, have a good night, Daniel. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I gave this a fresh edge. It's super sharp. I actually almost cut myself a few times assembling this thing. But one other thing I wanted to show you guys was the inside. I did put the texture on the bottom end of that backspacer. See if I can get the camera to focus on it. There we go. But it's the little things, and I just like that it matches here and on that finger choil too. So one thing I'm probably going to be doing here pretty soon is a Patreon, and then whoever is in on the Patreon, I think I'm going to do a monthly custom giveaway knife. So that's something I'm thinking about doing, and I'd really like to accomplish because your guys' support means a lot, and I think that'd be cool to do something like that. That way, it also keeps me on my toes. So I'm looking forward to that. Today's carry was the Spyderco Knife Joy exclusive in pink. Love this thing, the little native compression lock. wanted these for such a long time, and Knife Joe came out with this exclusive. I wanted the black G10 one, but you know what? I figured this was just as good. Let me know what you guys were carrying today. I'm curious to see what you guys were using. Do I have the capacity to refinish, restore in a satin finish on a rusted fixed blade? I do not. One thing I can't really do is hand finish blades. I mean, I could, but I just don't have the technique down to make it to where the satin finish is perfect, especially vertically, or no, horizontally. Horizontally, it's just so hard to get it perfect. It's really tough. Maybe here in the near future, where I might get better doing that, but I'm sure if I tried, I could do it. But I just love a good stone wash, even if it's just a stone wash, no etch, just because it hides. This is my niece's Kershaw here, but one thing I do like just about a basic stone wash is it hides scratches. So I love those. But what I love even more is a etched and stone washed blade, because it hides the scratches. I mean, I've rarely used this knife, so it still looks really good. But I just love a good etch and stone wash finish. I just think it looks a lot better. Satin finishes are pretty, and I can recognize and understand the amount of skill that goes into it, so I can respect it for that. But visually and just my taste in knives, I like a good stone wash. El Cap Addict. Hello. Yeah, I didn't even, you snuck in. How are you? Oh, you're carrying the Capara. That's the Spyderco Capara. Yeah, I've handled that at Texas Blade Show. It's a very interesting design. Dopey with the element and button lock, fixed blade, Praxis, and a Sheepdog XL. Yeah, I got a Sheepdog XL. Those are really great knives. Chunky ones. Jonathan Sherwood, hello. Oh, we just assembled I just finished the Pilar 3 with the Banshee G-Carta scales. So this is what we're kind of looking at. I did a pocket clip as well. So this is just kind of what we're doing. I was going to do a video on it, but I figured I'd go live and assemble it for you guys. That way it would make my life a lot easier too. I don't have to edit the video. Yeah, I guess a good aggressive satin finish on a blade is really nice too. I'm trying to think if I have a knife that has that. I think I do. Let me see here. Yeah, so this Max Ace Babylon here is one of it's my favorite button lock in my collection, because it's a beast and it's gorgeous. But this aggressive, like really deep, aggressive satin finish, that I really like. I will be etching and stone washing this knife, but like I said, I really like this finish, so I'm debating on whether I should do it or not. So it's going to be a tough call, but this is something I'd really like to customize, but I just like it the way it is so much. I'm going to be very picky on what I do with it. It's definitely used. I've used this knife a lot, actually. You can see the snail trails on there. Definitely on the pocket clip too. Very beat up. But love this thing. This thing is awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. Tasty. Yeah, Someone called it Tiger ice cream earlier, so there you go. Tiger ice cream it is. Yeah, ice cream does sound pretty good right now, actually. I might have to do that after this live. Yeah, JD, you know who I've been talking to recently, JD, is God, I forgot his name, but Derby Blades EDC. He makes those really cool G-Carta handled fixed blades. Um, love his work, and I'm hoping to get one of his knives in hand for the channel. I'd really love to check out his work. I think we spoke a little bit, and he might send one over for me to check out. So his satin finishes on his blades, ooh, they're just money. Really beautiful. Yeah, a little bit, Jonathan. I get it. Yeah, it does look like a the Tiger Milk Bar. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can actually picture that now that you mention it. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing I don't like about especially the cheaper steels. D2, at least for in my experience, JD, is it doesn't like to etch well for whatever reason. Especially CRKT's D2. It's like you said, it's kind of finicky. And I noticed that the higher quality steel blades, especially this I think it's 20 CV, yeah, 20 CV, CPM 20 CV on this one. This one etched beautifully, like it came out perfect. So at least in my case, I don't know about you, JD, but it seems like the higher quality blade steel etches really, really nicely. But that's just been something I've experienced. Yeah, and that's one thing, JD, is I need I need a really good grinder. That's one thing I don't have. So I need to work harder and definitely get a nice grinder. There was a tip on a YouTube video that I watched. He makes fixed blades. I forgot the name of his channel, but he said he uses Scotch-Brite belts to get a really nice top finish on his satin finished blades, and it just gives you a really clean look. And from the video, from what I saw, it looked perfect. It turned out really, really nice. I didn't even know they made those kind of belts. But yeah, this is a awesome button lock. One of my favorites, but this is actually one knife that I'm going to be customizing here pretty soon with pretty much the same idea here. I did do the Slim Mini with a piece of G10, and then I epoxied the G-Carta to it. I'm sure you guys have seen that video of the Mexican blanket mini slim that I did. But I'm going to be doing a pretty cool pattern, or I chose a really cool G-Carta for this knife. Since it is blue, it's going to complement it. And then I'm going to do a custom G-Carta pocket clip for this one as well. So I'm excited about that. This is actually one of my favorite knives in my collection. Love this thing. I rarely carry it though. I guess you could say it's one of my grail knives, but I really enjoy this knife. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look once I create enough funds, JD. I'm gonna have to kind of pick your brain on a grinder. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. So the Scotch-Brite belts. So yeah, certain tools make make your job easier, your life a lot easier. But that CNC is definitely coming in handy. I just used it today I'm working on an 8015. So the two pivot pins that are that are being used on that knife have the D-shaped hole in the scales. I wish they would just do it in the liners. It'd make life a lot easier, because cold steel likes to make your life a little bit more difficult. But the D-shaped hole is in their scales, not their liners, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. I figured a way around it, so I'll be doing that here pretty soon. But there it is, you guys. Like I said, I just wanted to go live and show you guys the result on this Pilar 3. And just kind of talk to you guys about, or pick your brain on what you guys think about this faded etch and stone watch, which I think you guys like from what I read in the comments. So I think I'm going to do more of this, but definitely experiment with sharper lines, maybe thinner, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here in the future. So I am probably going to go get some ice cream, because you guys got me in the mood for ice cream, since for whatever reason this reminds you guys of ice cream. So I'm going to go get that. Yeah, Chicago, yeah. El Cap, yeah, I'm going to hold it up real close here before I go. I'm going to try to go nice and slow, so I'll show you guys closed. And I'm going to do my best to get this on camera so it's not blurred. So we have that large Banshee G-Carta. This reminds me a lot of fire. It's a really, really cool material. So here's the pocket clip side. And I use the window trick. With a piece of paper, I cut out the shape of the pocket clip and I put it over the G-Carta to pick the certain section of the G-Carta that I wanted to use. And that's what I ended up with. I just really like the flow of it. Almost looks like lava too. That's what it reminds me a lot of. Here is the rock pattern textured brass backspacer. And then I did the same on the spine, and I did a harpoon style blade, or shape to it. This feels really, I could rub my finger on this all day, so it feels really, really good in hand. And then I'll open it up for you guys. Oh, this right here, this one right here. JD, that one? Yeah, this is in the works. This has been an idea of mine for, I don't know, about 3 months now. It's just been sitting here, but I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. But here it is opened up. I just love a good harpoon blade. I'm surprised the Pilar 4 didn't have a harpoon blade. So I guess that's what I was trying to say earlier. Oh, thanks. Thanks, El Cap Addict. Yeah, this is just my phone, so that's I'm glad it's doing. I wonder if it's overheating. My phone gets pretty warm, but it doesn't feel hot. It's warm, but it's not hot like it used to be. So maybe something got fixed, but there it is opened up. Here is the pocket clip side. And yeah, with the heat anodized hardware. Couldn't be happier, other than that little mistake I did with the detent. But I mean, it's my personal knife, so I'm happy with it. It won't bug me too much. But yeah, awesome stuff. Definitely lighter too with that G-Carta. And yeah, really pleased with it. And yeah, Chicago, you want to see the Ojimbo? Yeah, you guys can see this. Again, one of my favorite builds. Other than the whatchamacall, the Benchmade, the Royal Mini Cricket River, but here's this guy with the Lemon Fireside Company scales. I like black. Yellow is one of my favorite colors. Actually, it is my favorite color, but I really like black and yellow together. And this is as close as I could get it until I get the hardware, the black hardware, which I think will look really good. But the Hamon etch and stonewash. And then the custom black camo fat carbon pocket clip, which works great. Love this thing. And I'm basically testing it. It hasn't failed yet. Hopefully there's a day where it doesn't do that and it lasts forever. Action is great. Love the Yojimbo too. I even gave it a little sharpening choil there to make my life easier in the future. So yeah, just enough there. I added a little bit of rock pattern texture at the bottom, so that way when it closes, it doesn't hit your finger, which is a pretty big issue from what I gathered from everybody saying about this knife. Not that it's a big issue, but it's an issue that people have brought up, and I eliminated it by creating that rock pattern texture. Doesn't bump the finger. It's really smooth action. Love that harpoon. And the custom G10 carbon fiber backspacer that I did with rock pattern texture, just to match with that spine. So there's that. Here's the spine. Harpoon again. So just love a good harpoon. As you guys can see, they're on the Pilar 3 there. So two of my favorites now. Again, one of my favorite Pilars is the Pilar 3. I like the original too, the OG, the smaller size. Thank you, El Cap Addict. Harpoon, I have 20C Yojimbo. Oh, DLT. Oh, yeah, I was considering that one because it's got the purple scales, if I remember correctly. Unless they just did the drop on that now, unless I'm mixing up those two. Yeah, the Chicago. Yeah, I'm excited about the Mini. More than likely, I'm probably gonna pick one of those up because I love a good mini knife. Mini anything, like mini version of, what is it? The oh, I have this right here. So the compact CEO, basically the mini version. I really like this knife because it's so small. And it's cute, snappy, just like the full size, but just very small. I mean, this basically hides in your pocket, which is really cool. Kind of enjoy your ice cream. Good night. All right, good night, EDC. I will enjoy my ice cream. Oh, Jimmy Slash. Hello, sir. How goes it? Hey, look, I got a Cold Steel on the table. One of my favorite ones, the 8010. I hope those pink liners are holding up. I should probably... I actually have an idea with the pink ones here pretty soon. Thank you, sir. Wow, really? Smaller than the compact? What the... Interesting. I'm going to have to Google that. Awesome to hear, Jimmy. Jimmy Slash. Yeah, this one is interesting. I'm trying not to touch it too much because you know how anodized titanium is, but I'm really pleased with this one. The green blue came out really nice. The lights in here are really bright, so you can't really see too much. I'm gonna have to adjust the on my next live. I'll have to adjust the lighting, but very bright in here. But yeah, I'm really happy with the colors on this one. Perfectly centered. Again, this is up on the website for sale, so if you guys are interested, Same with the lander. So if you guys are interested, go ahead head on over, and obviously I'll leave the link down below. And this is actually going to be an interesting project. So I'm going to do usually I'm not a fan of holes in blades, or scales, but this one's so small and the holes are placed in certain areas where you don't even really feel them. But my only issue with this knife is the pocket clip. It's such a weird angle, and I don't know, you can really feel it in your palm. But other than that, it's a great knife. But I will be creating a show side scale from I believe this is the Mars Valley Fat Carbon. So as you guys can see, the orange is going to go with the frame lock side, which is why I chose this material. And then I will be creating a custom pocket clip too. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to create those little slits in order for the pocket clip to work. So that'll be interesting, a challenge, but I am excited about it. Plus, this is one of my favorite knives from Jesper Voxness. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I am gonna enjoy this knife while eating ice cream and probably working on my website. I gotta fix some things on my website, but that's what I'll be doing. And again, I appreciate you guys watching. The people who showed up, thank you for joining us and watching me assemble this thing. I was excited to get it finished up for you guys so you can get a close look at it. But I will probably do another one, probably with the cheaper steel version here with some G-carded again, but I'm not exactly sure what I'll be doing. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll definitely do some more lives, and I will try to get that Patreon going, so that way I can do a monthly giveaway, custom knife giveaway. So look forward to that. Again, thank you guys. Have a good night. Great hanging out with you guys. So I will see you guys on the next one.